Well, a pleasant good evening to each and everyone. My name is Mr. Marlon Asher. I hail all the way from Trinidad and Tobago, beautiful island in the Caribbean. I've been singing from a tender age of 7 years old, singing in my grandfather choir. And, I've been loving reggae music from a tender, young age. And, here I am today, bringing good music to you guys. Thank you guys for being, supportive of the music. Bless.
How did you first become interested in music, and what inspired you to pursue a career as a reggae artist?
Well, I first got interested in music when my father, traveled abroad and bought a lot of instrument and brought it home. And, me and my brother, had access, to the instruments. And I must say, singing in my grandfather's choir made me, want to be a singer. And I started loving reggae music from the age of 14 when my brother brought home his style of music called reggae, Bless.
And can you tell us about your musical influences and how they shaped your style and sound?
Well, some of my influence in music is the likes of Dennis Brown, Garnet, Silk, some of the great singers, Freddie McGregor. And for me, they shaped my music in a lot of ways because they taught me how to bring my music into reality and how to put a story into my music and how to make a story come alive in my music. So I must say, the influence was great.
Your song Ganja Farmer has become an anthem for the cannabis community. What was the inspiration behind that track, and what impact do you think it has had for the listeners?
Well, the inspiration behind that track, I must say, came from, incident happening in my country, Trinidad and Tobago, called the weed eating program, where the helicopters will fly and search out the weed field and spray fire from the sky and burn the trees. And seeing the cry of a lot of farmers, I decided to implement a few things into a song that I already had going on. So and seeing it grow and come a long way, along the way, as I say, it's very moving to know that the mutual feeling that the world share, about the song was that the fact that, marijuana was something that was pursued and should not have been, and, to see marijuana legal today was a blessing to me, so give thanks.
Your music often carries messages of social consciousness and empowerment. How do you use the platform as an artist to address important social issues?
Well, I use my music to address social issues, all the while trying not to aggravate the authorities, so it's a very delicate area where you have to be careful of what you say and be mindful of what you have to say, so I must say it's only the inspiration of the Almighty could guide you to really bring that message out so that everyone understands.
Can you share any memorable experiences or stories from your performances or interactions with fans?
Well, I must say I had a beautiful time performing at Tico Time, and I was inspired to go down into the crowd, and they formed a circle around me and were all holding hands and going around in a circle. And that was a very memorable moment for me, so I will hold that always.
That's awesome. So one of your latest albums showcases a blend of reggae, dancehall, and other musical genres. What led you to explore this fusion of styles, and how do you feel it adds to your artistic expression?
Well, I wanted to showcase my diversity and you know, my ability to adapt to any genre. And I think that album really spoke, you know, to what I was trying to create. And I think the fans, I believe the fans, you know, had accepted with open arms because of the fact that they really could have related to every song, even though it was sounding a little differently in the genre, you know?
How do you balance staying true to reggae roots while also evolving and pushing boundaries within the game?
Well, the reason why I could always say I hold firm to the reggae one drop is because, you know, my fear of the Almighty God, first off, you know. I'm always inclined to do things that is pleasing to the Almighty, so you find I would not really venture too far away from His side. So that keeps me firm and grounded and, you know, on a straight path.
Okay. And on that same note, can you talk about any significance of spirituality in your music and how it influenced your lyrics overall?
Yeah, well, the thing about it, you know, is spirituality has a lot to do with how one feels inside, you know, and the feeling of wanting to be close to God and wanting to please the Almighty God, you know, it's very grounded in me. So yes, there is spirituality in my music because I see myself as someone who was, you know, ordained to give messages to the people. Like the Bible say, the players of instrument and the musicians shall be there. So me being a musician, I don't want to be a musician that's working against what God say. So if God say I'm a singer that's supposed to be there, I don't want to sing something that is gonna change that, you know. So spirituality have to be in the music.
Are there any particular rituals or practices that you engage in to stay connected to your creative inspiration and maintain a positive mindset?
Yeah, I like to do deep breathing, you know, take deep breath. Well, some people like to say it's a ritual, but it's not really a ritual, you know. When you control your breathing, you know, you tend to really go into your own personal thinking. So it's something that I like to do, you know, sit and take deep breaths and go into myself and reason with me, you know. So that's something I like to do. So it's a blessing, you know. Respect.
And what do you hope that your listeners take away from your music overall?
Overall, I hope people take away from my music is the love of self and love of the Almighty God, you know, and the willingness to help people that is in need is also, you know, that divine love. Most of all, you know, self-preservation is what I really want people to take away from the music I, you know, bring up. Really.
Can you share any insights into your songwriting process and how you develop your lyrics and melodies?
Well, most of the times, you know, most of the songs really come through, you know, feeling and emotions while recording, you know. So sometimes the lyrics is unknown until you're ready to record the song. And then at times you sit down without music and you get some inspiration to write a song. So it's a mix of things that sometimes combines and sometimes separates. But the thing about it is the creativity of the mind while, you know, songwriting goes on is very, at least it's intriguing to me, you know, because I go through the process a lot and it really sharpens the mind and keeps you focused, you know. Bless.
And what advice would you give an inspiring reggae artist who is looking to make their mark in the industry right now?
Well, first of all, I must say, you know, be true to the music that you love and the music that you feel most comfortable with. Because that's the only way you will express yourself freely. you know, and the freeness of expression in the music is what makes great songs. And this is something that you have to take into consideration, you know, being true to the genre that you most comfortable in.
And how do you see the role of reggae music in promoting unity, peace, and social change on a global scale?
Is it reggae music? That question is actually the design of reggae music. It's what reggae music was designed for, you know, to showcase that struggle and that, you know, revolutionary, you know, struggle. So at the same time, reggae music is always a part of every struggle that, you know, people has gone through, whether it was to help brighten up the day or whether it was to bring about awareness. So yeah, reggae music definitely, you know, I mostly recommend to people, you know, that, you know, take a little bit of reggae music in your life, you know, and all's gonna be well. Bless you.
I agree. And can you talk about any of the challenges that you face as an artist and how you've overcome them?
Well, some of the challenges that I face, well, I don't want to talk too much about all of the challenges, but, you know, in particular, one of the challenges that I may have faced as an artist is trying to, you know, prove that I am the original singer of the Ganja Farmer song, because when I first sang the song, I couldn't travel abroad, and, you know, other artists decided they would, you know, sing the song because it was so popular, and then people got to recognize them as the singer of the song. And, you know, the way of how I overcome it was to be humble and let it be. You know, eventually people realize that, you know, the voice coming out of me and the voice coming out of them, you know, which one matched the sound. So, you know, so I must say, you know, the humble part of things that we do is important too in life, especially when it's never really good to address things with haste, you know. Sometimes it's good to let nature take its course. Blessing.
Can you share any upcoming projects or collaborations that you're excited about right now?
Yeah, I'm really excited about my new album, you know. It's called Safe. I've, you know, it's my 4th studio recorded album, and it's been done by Don Corleone, renowned, the esteem, you know, the god of music, you know. Don Corleone did the whole album, and, you know, some of the lyrics was written by Keely Keys, and I had a little input into some of the lyrics too, so I was proud of that, you know. And the whole production, this is the first time I had a whole production done in an album, and I'm most proud of this album. I had a combination with the likes of Taurus Riley, Capleton, Sizzla, Slightly Stoopid, Boogs, Massacre. Some really nice combination, you know, so I'm really proud of this album, and I must say it's something to look forward for. Even I'm excited about it, so yeah.
Me super excited about it. So how do you see the future of reggae music right now? How the scene's been changing and all these new artists are coming out?
You know, the scene will change, you know, where reggae music is concerned, you know, but I'm glad to see that the message remain the same, you know. Whatever new artists come and decide to be a part of reggae music, they always understand one thing, that the creator is first and the message is the music. So I must say, I think reggae has a good future, you know, and it will always have that future.
All right, and finally, let's end it with this. Ultimately, what do you hope to achieve with your music and the legacy that you leave behind as an artist?
Well, I hope to achieve, greatness like the likes of Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, and I pray that, the Almighty God see it fit to, bless me to be one of those greats, and yeah, I want to leave a legacy that, this music that Marlon Asher did, really helped me this time and saved me that time and, blessed me that time. So yeah, I want the music to live on, especially in the heart of the people, so that's why I make the music I make. Bless.
I definitely think that it will resonate with people forever. I think that you will be on that level. You're almost there right now, in my opinion. You're very well renowned and everything. So, thank you so much for sitting down and reasoning with me and giving me your time.
Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and may God bless and protect you always. Bless.